Yeah, it's amazing feeling. Obviously the history behind the club, I'm really happy to be here.
What did you think when you heard Everton were interested in you?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing really to obviously come from obviously people behind me, but no one heard about it straight away. I just wanted to obviously get it done. 'Cause like I said, obviously the club and how good the team is.
It is understood that coach Steve McLaren is vulnerable tactically. I want to know what's happening to the deal for Dwight McNeil. Greetings and welcome to another episode on Premier 7. I am your host, Ryan Nelson, coming to you today with a video of importance as it relates to the progression of the Jamaica men's national team. We could understand that in the Observer in June, Michael Ricketts, our president, he spoke about improvements to come for the national team. But to me, I don't believe in that big change. So today here on the channel, it is of my own mindset to ask about importance of a player in Dwight McNeil with the topic, where is Dwight McNeil? JFF promised change, but nothing's happening. Because I have not seen anything taking place thereafter. And even though they understood that it was a wake-up call, in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. That should have never been the case because so many promised players we have. But seeing that if we missed a one player or a two player, the national team looks very much chaotic on the pitch. Dwight McNeil, left winger, would be a huge asset for Jamaica, especially with World Cup qualifiers 2025 in September. Aren't you concerned the JFF hasn't recruited him as yet? Well, you can see the proof from that 144 votes, with majority 90% saying yes, no with 6%, and not sure with 4%. If I could vote, I would have been in that 90% as well. In that case, I just want to say a massive shout out to all of the persons who continues to support Premier 7. Premier 7 is on the road to 3,000 subscribers. So if you're new, please go ahead and subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, then you know what to do. So, we could understand who is Dwight McNeil because I have done a few videos on this player before, and others have seen him, like myself, playing in the Premier League. And Dwight McNeil is a no-nonsense talent, a talented player who has not hit 30 years yet. So, if he was already integrated in Jamaica squad, knowing that I think he played even alongside Demarai Gray in the past, then not only with Demarai Gray would the team improve, then the team would improve massively because he's a left winger, and you should know, if not know, let me just remind you that this guy have a very good left foot, not only for crosses but also to score goals, and his work rate is absolutely on point, something that Jamaica needs. Jamaica needs a game changer. He's more than just a game changer. He's a starter that could have at least elevate the team and help us to win some games in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Now, for me personally, Mr. Michael Ricketts, tension is already in the camp, seeing that you came out and you made your promise that things will be better. And even though it was a short-term day for which it happens from now, I would love to see some changes taking place right off the bat because it's like you guys don't take the World Cup qualifiers serious. It's like you guys are not serial winners. It's like you guys do not want or do not wish to see Jamaica making it to the highest level. And that is something that we should not accept as fans of the Reggae Boyz nation. We understood that our midfield is one of the worst in CONCACAF, and if it is one of the worst in CONCACAF, then to compare us alongside nations in Africa, in Europe, etc., then the score lines that we have received against, for example, Panama, who put 4 goals past us, then what if we played against our England, Spain, even a Senegal? We more so would have received a lot more goals than that. And we struggled against low block teams, and we struggled even against teams that keeps an high line. So what is happening? We have an identity, but the identity to me is not strong enough. The identity that we have is like a ghost. There's nothing really to see than just men and long balls and being running on the flanks or trying to hit on the counter or just looking exhausted on the pitch. The best of the best players in our squad looks exhausted. They do not look up to par. They don't look up to scratch. And seeing that there are some players like the Demarai Gray and the John Russell eyed by teams in the championship, then it looks quite good because that is an upgrade. The championship is right below the English Premier League, so it's like the second best league in England. So we're seeing improvements, and I think that these players would need to go up another level, seeing that Jamaica needs to qualify for the World Cup. But we don't have an identity that is making us feel as if we are good enough to compete against teams like even Trinidad and Tobago, who I think, even though they have exited the Gold Cup earlier than us, they look better on the eyes in terms of playing football. So what is going wrong really and truly? Our midfield is without energy. It's like it doesn't have any purpose. And we're placing players like sometimes Cephas out of position. I have seen where the coach have played Cephas in that number 10 role before. And I was saying, why putting a left winger in the number 10 position? Why having players on the bench that you do not trust? Why not try to use those who plays the position best? Because it's like you yourself is a defender and the coach takes and play you as a right-sided midfielder. Would you expect the same results? He may be expecting the same results or better, but it doesn't make any sense. You're not a right midfielder. You are a defender. So it's best for you to play in your main position. So, Mr. Michael Ricketts, I am concerned what is taking place with our players. Maybe you guys are trying something, but I am yet to believe that there's nothing necessarily taking place behind the scenes. Dwight McNeil is of Premier League experience. Of course, he will bring balance to the team, decision making, set piece assists, a lot of things that we would already know. And he would basically add to the shape of our team. A team that doesn't have proper tactics and have a player like a Dwight McNeil in a Jamaica setting, then it would basically paper the cracks in that case. It is absolutely going to paper the cracks and even help Jamaica to look a little bit more promising. I mentioned before that Mr. Michael Ricketts came out and said that Jamaica will be having some changes in the system, but Dwight McNeil would be a positive solution in the team to play on the left wing. And haven't heard any updates on him. We haven't seen anything taking place. We're still wondering if Mason Greenwood is going to play for Jamaica. And all of those madness that is continuously taking place. The space is silent. We're not hearing anything taking place in the Reggae Boyz camp. So people, what do you believe then? Do you think that the JFF is going to do something about all of these players who have been listed as well? Even the name like Lewis Baker. His name was one of those popular names, but nothing looks like it has happened. Nothing has materialized. And as I've said before, I don't think the JFF president and his team is that serious enough. Coming out and talk and talk and talk, it makes no sense. We need to see players like Dwight McNeil being recruited before the World Cup qualifiers. I did a video before on Jay Johnson, the youngster who plays in Ajax. He's a good player as well who can play in the DM role. That is his main position. He can play for Jamaica. He was drafted into the 60-man preliminary squad for the Gold Cup and nothing materialized. So I am not sure if we're going to even get no new players in. So if we're not going to get any new players in, and yes, we're going to use Coach McLean with no assistance, keeping him alongside Merrin Garden and those type of persons, I don't think Jamaica is going to qualify for the World Cup, and it is one of the easiest times to qualify. So JFF, you need to step up and get things done. So people, what is your say on the topic? Where is Dwight McNeil? JFF promised change, but nothing happening. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because when you comment, you don't know Premier 7 will reply right off the bat. So take care, goodbye, until we meet again.